Manchester United is the biggest team in world football, with history that most clubs will never be able to reach. However, one thing they have struggled with is managers. Since Sir Alex Ferguson had left the club, every single manager Manchester United has had has been sacked, the most recent of these being Erik ten Hag. Now, as of the day of recording, Manchester United have appointed Ruben Amorim as their brand new manager. So today, we will be rebuilding Manchester United with brand new manager Ruben Amorim's tactics. So we are now here with Manchester United. Now this is my second Man United rebuild of this year already, and to me that kind of says something, doesn't it? It shows that this club is in very desperate need for a rebuild, and I am hoping that Ruben Amorim is the man that can do that. So that's why today we will be using a touch of his tactics, and hopefully we can manage to do that. But let's take a look at the squad that we're working with. We've already seen the squad before. I think it's looking pretty decent, I'll be honest. We've got a very good team on paper, let's be honest here. I know our image of the team has been it's been dumbed down a bit after Erik ten Hag. I still think we've got a very good team on paper, and this is something that we can definitely work with no matter what tactic we will be using. Players like Rasmus Højlund, Rashford, I mean, they're going to be the keys to this team, as they would be in Amorim's system, I'm sure. Rashford is one player that I would be worried about, though, as he doesn't really show much of that pressing intensity anymore, as, you know, that is kind of the system that Amorim does play. Okay, but when it comes to tactics, I'm thinking for this team, we won't go straight into the 3 at the back tactic that Amorim usually does run. I know, don't come at me. I don't think we will now, because we're not able to make any signings in this first season. I won't allow myself to, because we are in November in real life, well, almost. So I mean, we're not going to make any signings this first season. In the second season, if I do manage to get the signings that I would want to fill up a 3 at the back system, which would probably be a couple good centre backs, because we don't really have that this season. As you can see, Harry Maguire, Johnny Evans and Victor Lindelof still in the team. They're not players that I think can play that. I don't think Luke Shaw will work in Amorim's system. I don't think Martinez will work in Amorim's system. So I mean, it will just all be a big process. But I can tell you now, we're definitely not going to be running a 3 at the back this first season. I think this team's very good though. I'm not sure what system we will run, but I will catch you at the end of this first transfer window to show you what system we are going to run, because this is going to be a big rebuild process, and I'm hoping that in this first season we can do okay to start working towards that. Okay, so as I've said, we've made 0 transfers this transfer window. I'm showing you the tactic here, and we're going for a 4-2-3-1. Now, I know it's not usually the system Amorim plays, but I want you to focus on this on the top left where it says Gegenpress. That is the main thing in Amorim's system. He loves a pressing system. He loves one where players will push forward to close down areas and other players will fill in those gaps, and that is kind of what I tried to build around here. While also prioritizing our best players. So, players that we are going to lock in for this first season include Rasmus Højlund, Alejandro Garnacho and Kobbie Mainoo. 3 of our young stars in the team right now. That would be because if I do sort by the best 11, it does take them all out. Of course, Sancho isn't even in the team anymore. I don't know why he is being selected. But yeah, no, this is kind of how I would like us to play out, of course, with Kobbie Mainoo, Rasmus Højlund and Garnacho in the team. This is kind of how I see us playing it out. We've also got Casemiro on the bench for experience, someone who I think we should be selling, but of course this first transfer window no sales are going to be made. So I mean, I think it's still a good team no matter what. And so far in the league, it's kind of proven that. 3rd place, 4 matches, 4 wins. All big results. That's not something that you see too often with current day Manchester United. 3-1 win away against Fulham, a 2-1 win away against Wolves, a 2-0 win at home to West Ham. We just lost to West Ham the other day, and a 2-1 win at home to Leicester. We just beat them 5-2 in real life. So I mean, you know what? I think we're doing alright so far. I'm excited with this first season. I think that we can get something out of this. What I can hope for, I'll keep my expectations low. I want a top 6. I think 6th place is completely fair considering the way that the team has been playing in real life. That is kind of my expectation, for them this season in real life. So I am hoping that we can get somewhere similar around that position in game, somewhere around top 6, and we will be happy with it. So I'm ready, I think the team's ready to sim to the end of this season and show you how we have managed to do at the end of the season. Hopefully we've managed to bring something home. I'll catch you there. Okay, so here we are, end of the season, and this season has gone pretty good, looking at the fact that Marcus Rashford is our top goal scorer. He has finally, hopefully, gotten back some of that skill that I know he has. Just confidence behind it is the main thing. I think he's lost confidence in real life big time, and it's about time for him to start picking that back up. I think we're starting to see some signs of that in real life, but not fully there yet. Also, our highest average rating is Marcus Rashford as well. All off that left wing, I think he has been brilliant. Bruno Fernandes, highest assists. Was kind of expecting it, to be honest. I was very much expecting it. I did put him as an attacking midfielder on support for that reason. I wanted him to be the person to supply the ball to the wingers. I think a great season from him. 35 goal contributions in total is quite good, and a 7.24 average rating is even better. A couple other bits and bobs there, including Martinez with highest pass completion. But we'll take a look at competitions because that's the only thing we're interested in. Okay. Alright, we won the Europa League. Okay. Well, I don't know what to do now. No, seriously, we won the Europa League. We made it through the group, 4 wins and 2 draws, undefeated. Round of 16s, we played Braga and beat them 5-3. Quarterfinals, we played Girona and beat them 3-0. Semi-finals, we played against Frankfurt and beat them 2-0, and then in the finals we played against PSG, beating them 3-2. What a result. Ugarte scoring the winner against his old club in the 81st minute. That is brilliant. I'm happy with that, you know. Wow. What a season, and 4th place as well. So that's Champions League in 2 different ways. I'm very happy with that. Wow. You know what? I wasn't expecting that at all. We didn't end up winning the Community Shield, unfortunately, but that doesn't matter to me because we still won a trophy, we still brought it back, and we managed to get top 4, so that's very, very big in my eyes. Looking at the best 11, let's see how we kind of lined up this season. I'm guessing it was still with Garnacho on the right because I had him locked in. Yep, it's very similar to how I left it. I'm pretty sure it's the exact same. Honestly, I think this team's done very well. When it comes to places to improve, we can look at the centre-back position. Martinez is not a great centre-back. I don't think that's his position now. Luke Shaw hasn't been great this season either. Again, I'm kind of expecting that in real life after all the injuries. Mazraoui hasn't been great either, and I don't think Dalot has from the bench. Yep, 6.84. He's been horrible too. Honestly, it's not been as good all round. I think Garnacho did quite well. Yeah, it's not been great all round. I think our entire back line has had its ups and downs. That's kind of making me hope now that I can implement that 3 at the back system, because I think we do need that defensive security now going into these next seasons. That all just depends on what I can arrange this transfer window though. If I can arrange some good centre backs to come in, I definitely think I will make those changes and switch to a 3 at the back. If not, then I might have to wait an extra season. But I do want to implement that some point in this rebuild to see how that will actually work with Ruben Amorim's proper tactics. So as I said, places to improve. Players along the back line for sure. Also, I believe Harry Maguire will be leaving the club. I'm not sure if I'll sign him on yet. I doubt it though. I mean, yeah, players along the back line. Perhaps a new midfielder if Casemiro does leave, because I feel like that's a player that I don't want to keep. And I mean, maybe another winger. Sancho's leaving. It all just depends who also leaves and then who we can manage to replace them with. but we've been given a pretty decent budget for that, so I'm excited to see what we can get done. I'll simulate to the end of the second transfer window of this rebuild and show you how we've managed to line up, who we've brought in and who we have sold. I'll see you there. So we're starting off with a couple sales, starting with Casemiro. We've sold him off to Al Nassr for £35 million. Goodbye, Casa. Thank you for your time at the club, but you started to drop off at the end. We've also sold Anthony. Now he's gone off to West Ham. This is a sale that I've been hoping to make very, very soon. Sold him off to West Ham. He's currently not doing too great, is he? He's your problem now. £20 million, meaning we lost £62 million on him, but at least I don't have to put up with him in training anymore. Diogo Dalot is our final sale. We've sold him off to Napoli. He's left for £35 million. He's not a player that I think will do well under Amorim, and I think it is about time for him to go. He didn't do well last season, and I personally don't even rate him that much as well. So let's start off with some signings. We brought in Denzel Dumfries on a free transfer from Inter Milan. I think he is a good right back. I don't know if he will fit perfectly into the system. It really just depends. He might have to be a backup for a little while. We'll have to wait and see. I also signed Lucharel Geertruida. Now, I know all the United fans have had enough of all the players coming in from the Netherlands, and you know, players that are from the Netherlands, but I've brought in another one. So we brought in Geertruida, as he is very versatile. He can play in almost everywhere underneath the attacking midfield positions, and I'm very, very happy to have him in just for that reason alone. He can play on both the fullbacks, both wing backs, CDM, centre back, centre mid, right mid, and even he's getting up there on that left midfield position. I think we probably will use him as a defensive midfielder, but we'll have to wait and see. Of course, he could even be used as a centre back. We never know. It's all about having good depth in every position, and he is one of those. £50 million we've signed him for. He is a good signing. Next, this one is not one I thought I would make this transfer window. We've signed Antonio Rudiger from Real Madrid for £40 million. £40 million is very, very cheap for someone who I consider to be one of the best centre backs in the world. I think the way he moves is just so different to almost every centre back. He can close his player down so fast. He's got the pace, he's got stamina. It doesn't matter how old he is going to do it for us for multiple years. And our final signing is an even bigger one. Leroy Sané has joined us from Bayern Munich for £45 million. I thought this was extremely cheap for someone of his level. Just look at those attributes and tell me I'm wrong. He is going to be that real winger that we wanted. Man United have been crying out for a proper winger. He is going to be that player that we bring in, and he starts shining instantly. He's got experience in the league, speaks the language, and even has experience in Manchester, obviously for the wrong side, but it doesn't matter because he's going to be banging goals against them for fun this time around. So let's take a look at the tactic, and I promise, just hear me out on this one. So we have a 3-2-2-3 formation. Don't at me on it because I can't tell you, but I'll start explaining right from the back. We've got the three centre-backs in Rudiger, De Ligt and Martinez. Now these three, we've got two wide centre-backs, meaning Rudiger and De Ligt will be moving out wide. Also, we have Geertruida on a half-back role, so he will be coming back and fitting into the gaps that are left by the defence, almost making a back four in possession. So we've also got Ugarte, who will be playing as a ball in the midfield on support. When we're in possession of the ball, he will be laying deep and act as that one defensive midfielder. And Mount, box to box, is in the name. He goes from box to box. In possession, he will be attacking. Out of possession, he will be probably helping out the defense a bit more. Bruno Fernandes on advanced playmaker, so he will be moving forward no matter what. But let me kind of visualize this for you. This is kind of how it will be lining up. I mean, with Mount in between, of course. Mount will be in between here and the attacking midfield positions. I think this is going to be a good system. I think it will definitely work. Honestly, I'm worried because it might not. I'm worried because it might not, but if it does work out, then this might be one of the wildest tactics I have ever run in Football Manager history. So I'm excited to see how we do this season. So far though, it's actually worked out. 3rd place in the league, 3 wins, 1 loss. That loss going to Aston Villa. It's a worrying loss because it was at home, I'll be honest, but Aston Villa are a good opponent, so you never know. I mean, we could easily change it around and hopefully do well this season. It's the most stressful tactic I could possibly have gone for, but I mean, I think it takes advantage of the amount of midfielders that we do have. We've got very fast centre backs, and honestly, hopefully with some decent passing ability. I mean, I'm excited to see how this works out. It would be a first for me, and I'm sure a first for you guys watching. I'm excited to see how we do this season. I'm ready to sim to the end of it to show you the results with this tactic. This is gonna be long. I'll see you there. So we're finally here at the end of this season, and as you can see, Rasmus Højlund top goal scorer. Now finally he's back up on the scoring charts, but I don't know if that is because now he finally has a bit more support from the only word I can use to describe it is crazy tactic. Of course, having Mount, Fernandes behind him, and also Leroy Sané on the inverted forward. Leroy Sané, though, speaking on his name, highest average rating, 27 assists also. So he's ended the season with 40 goal contributions in 51 starts. He is different gravy, next level. Leroy Sané, you are amazing. Please come to Manchester United in real life. But yeah, 27 assists from him, 24 goals from Højlund. It's still not a great enough season from Højlund though. 6.96 average rating is quite horrible in my opinion. That might have to be a position that we look to replace soon. But we'll take a look at the competitions because I'm hopeful. I never set any predictions for this season as I genuinely couldn't predict with the tactic. But after seeing the player stats, I'm hopeful. So let's go. Okay, that's a banging season. Oh, wow. That is a crazy season. 2nd place in the league, only 3 points off of the title. Semi-finals of the Champions League. We won the Super Cup and we won the FA Cup. So, we'll go in the FA Cup. Some big wins there, I'm sure. Started off against West Brom 6-0. 4-0 win against Southampton. 6-0 win against Fulham. That's massive. 5-0 win against Sheffield United. A 3-2 win against Crystal Palace. And a 1-0 win against Arsenal in the final. I mean, it's not as big as I thought it would be, but okay, wow, that's a sentence. It's not as big of a result as I thought it would be, but I lost track there. UEFA Super Cup, we actually beat Man City, who won the Champions League. So wow, that's a good result. Champions League in itself, semi-finals, we ended up losing 4-1 on aggregate to Inter Milan. But we did beat some opponents, as I can see. A 3-1 win against FC Barcelona, 2-1 win against Atletico Madrid. In the playoff, we played Ludogorets, beat them 5-1, only making it to 15th place in the league phase. But we still ended up making it quite far, so I'm happy with that. 2nd place in the league is big also. I mean, I'm very happy with the season in general. But one thing that I am unhappy with is the fact that the strikers aren't scoring. Wow, that is a lot of green. That's a lot of green. Wow. That's nuts. That's crazy. But looking at the best 11, this is kind of how it is showing us to play. I don't think the game really likes Rudiger. Even though he did perform very well, it's shoving him onto the bench, which I don't think will be happening. He's still got great pace and great stamina, so I see him playing for another season at the minimum. Kobbie Mainoo though, is he doing alright now? Because last season I saw, yeah, he's still not doing great. That's something that I'm upset with in this game. Kobbie Mainoo, he doesn't really do well in this game, does he? But we've got players like Mason Mount, who is performing now. He hasn't performed in real life for quite a while. I mean, I think this tactic is working out. Places to improve. Ugarte hasn't been great, and Højlund hasn't been great. Maybe another centre-back, because I still don't think Martinez is a good centre-back. But those would be the places to improve on. Looking at the budget we've got, and we can make a couple of those signings. So I'd say a centre-back, a CDM, and a striker are kind of needed in this game. I'm excited. I think there are some transfers to be made here, and you know what? I'm counting this as me starting to implement Amorim's tactics. We've got the pressing system, we've got the three at the back. This is basically Ruben Amorim. That is a good tactic, and I never expected it to be. Good result for this season, and I'm excited because this is something to build off for next season. So I think we're ready to sim to the end of the third transfer window to show you who we've managed to bring in, who we've sold, and if we will be changing this tactic. So we've sold Denzel Dumfries after only 1 season. Now, the change of tactic did kind of mean that he didn't have much of a spot in our team. Only 11 appearances off the bench and 3 starts for us last season. I'm guessing those would be at centre back, which of course is not his main position. So we've sold him off to Aston Villa for 25 million. He's off performing very well there, as I expected him to. I didn't want to sell him to a rival, but our only options were them or Chelsea. Of course, Aston Villa are a bit less dangerous in game than Chelsea, so we did sell him to them. We've sold Joshua Zirkzee as well, someone who has not performed well whatsoever in his time at the club. We've sold him back to Bayern Munich, the team that he came up through pretty much. They signed him from Feyenoord when he was still a teenager and brought him up until selling him off to Bologna. So we've sold him back for £40 million, and he is already performing quite well there in his two appearances. And finally, we've also had Tyrone Malacia leave us on a free transfer, someone who never really got back up to the level that he was before his injury. So we've started off the Sporting players coming in. Gonzalo Inacio has joined us for how much was it? It was £40 million. We've signed him in to be that left centre back for us, someone who Amorim has very close connections to, someone who his play is very reliant on. Of course, great at carrying the ball forward, great at passing, someone who's going to be a very, very massive addition into this team, and kind of a very massive addition into shape-shifting this team into Amorim's. Another former Sporting player that we have signed is João Palhinha. So this one, I'm not sure if it will work out, and it's risky, very risky. But £60 million we have signed him for. Now hear me out, he's 31 years old, but he's got stamina, so he will play for another good couple seasons. He came from a big team. He never did too well in his last season, a 6.94, but he is a solid defensive midfielder, someone who I don't think we had. And honestly, Ugarte and Geertruida didn't do too well in the defensive midfield spots. I believe that is because they aren't proper defensive midfielders. We need a classic, strong CDM. I feel like we're just getting Casemiro'd again, I'll be honest. We're getting Casemiro'd again. I hope he can perform because I don't want that 60 million to go to waste. I'm sure he has played under Amorim before. 2022 it says he's played for Sporting, so I'm not sure if that was Amorim time or not. But even if, he is a banging player and I hope he can start to perform under our system. And finally, Victor Osimhen has joined us from Napoli. His release clause stayed in place after his loan off to Galatasaray. No one wanted to activate it. We chose to do that. Now, I think he's a very similar striker to the one that Sporting do use currently in Victor Gyökeres. He's very fast, he's rapid, almost. You can call him rapid. He's tall, he's strong, and he's got that finish on him. I think he can be that striker that Amorim does build around. He is going to be big in the system, and I really hope he can get some goals in and perform well, because Rasmus Højlund just wasn't doing it, I'll be honest. Someone who I've backed all the time in real life, he just hasn't performed in the game, so it was about time to replace him. £73 million for Victor Osimhen. So let's take a look at the tactic, and we've changed it a tiny bit, but it is still very weird, I'll be honest. So this is kind of how I see us rocking it. We're going to have Inacio, we're going to have Rudiger, and we're going to have I believe De Ligt at centre back. Yes, that's right. I still do want Rudiger in that defense, probably centre back with Inacio on the left, as that is kind of how Amorim would play him. Geertruida on the right wing back as an inverted wing back on attack, so he will be going forward and aiding the attackers when needed, with Ugarte here, or João Palhinha in that defensive role of ball-winning midfielder. I would have preferred Palhinha, but it is telling me that it does prefer Ugarte, who has actually started to fix up a little bit and perform a bit well. So I think we will be trusting the AI to make those changes as it wants. Mason Mount and Bruno Fernandes in the centre midfield roles, exactly the same as last time, and the same roles in the front three. Obviously different player now in Victor Osimhen up top. He's performed very well so far, 4 games, 4 goals, and that has kind of reflected in our league table. 2 wins, 1 draw out of 3 games, including a 2-1 win away at Tottenham, which is a big result. Victor Osimhen tied on the highest goal scoring chart, Marcus Rashford on an 8.37 highest average rating and most assists. I think this is going to be a big season from all of us. I'm excited to see how this goes. So I think the team is ready to sim to the end of this season to show you how we've managed to do, what trophies we've brought back home, and if this tactic has worked, because somehow it's gotten weirder. It's gotten weirder than last season. So let's go see how it's done. So we're here, end of the 3rd season, and I am extremely confused by these player stats. I almost thought I loaded up the wrong save, because Rasmus Højlund, 22 goals in his appearances off the bench and 15 starts. What? I mean, I feel like he's started to perform once we brought in some competition for him, but before he couldn't perform when Xerxes was competing for his position because Xerxes wasn't good enough. He realised we signed a £73 million striker, someone similar to his transfer fee, and that they were going to be prioritised, and he has started performing. I'm upset with Victor Osimhen in that case, because he's gotten less than 22 goals this season, which is horrible. As you can also see, Bruno Fernandes as our highest assists and highest average rating, 7.27 for him this season, with 22 assists and 18 goals, 40 goal contributions in 44 games. Someone who at the age of 32 is still performing incredibly. That is a bit crazy to me, because I wasn't expecting that at all. I'm guessing under Amorim he's going to start playing well, because under Ten Hag he really wasn't anymore. I don't think we did well this season. I'll just be real. I doubt we did well, considering that we still haven't had a proper striker this season. But I'm ready to look. I'm so confused. I don't know what's going on. How have we won it? I don't understand, but we've won the league. I'm confused. We've lost more matches than City as well. We've lost 7 games, which still is not good. Drew 4 times. 4 draws, sorry. Drawn. Yeah, we've drawn 4 times. We've won the Carabao Cup as well, which is even... That's weird to me as well. I mean, 3-1 against Reading, 2-2 against Southampton, 5-0 against Stoke, 3-0 against Tottenham, and then beating Chelsea 0-0 but on penalties. I mean, I don't understand what's happened, because we still don't have a good striker. Our team is not looking good all round. I mean, let me just sort by the best 11. The team doesn't look the greatest right now. I really just don't understand where we have gone right, because I haven't seen much of it. I honestly haven't seen much of it. But if it works, it works. I still think we might need to change tactic for next season, because I'm not happy with a couple things that I've seen. I want more to be done from Osimhen, because a 6.95 is not good enough whatsoever. We need him to be in the high 7, 7.2, 7.3s on average rating, because that is kind of my standard for a top striker. He is meant to be that world-class striker that takes us forward, and he isn't performing like it whatsoever. Yeah, no, I mean, places to improve. I'm still thinking we could use another defensive midfielder, because it doesn't look like Palhinha has been used too much, has he? 6.87. Yep, waste of 60 million. Great waste of 60 million. No, but I think we need to change tactic. I feel like I might go for something with 2 wing backs rather than just the 1. Yeah, no, I think we'll go for something like that. and leave the 2 in midfield. Very similar to Amorim's current day tactics, but I think it is what we do need to do. Yeah, no, I think that's what we need to do. So I'll be simming to the end of the next transfer window to show you who we've signed. We do have a big budget as well, I'm sure. No, we don't. 32 million is nothing, but it's okay. We'll sell some players. We got 32 million for winning the league, by the way. That is horrible. But yeah, no, we'll sim to the end of the 4th transfer window to show you who we've managed to bring in. Hopefully we brought in some decent players, because that is not a big budget and our team isn't looking the best right now. So I'll see you there. So we're here. Transfer window has started and we've sold Antonio Rudiger off to Al Hilal. We've sold him for £20 million, meaning we've only lost 20 million on him after 2 very, very big seasons for us. He performed very well in his time here, but I did see a deterioration starting, so I think it was about time to let him go and play some football in Saudi Arabia, earn some of the money that he couldn't earn anywhere else. But now the Sporting team has started coming in. We've signed Pedro Goncalves on a free transfer. We've brought him in to be that kind of, he will be probably a backup player. He's very versatile, so he's good in the fact that he can be backup in all of these positions, including striker, both the wings, attacking midfield and centre midfield, which is probably where he will be backing up. As Altay Bayındır has left us, we went out and got Miles Villa from Roma as our backup goalkeeper, someone who's actually done quite well in his time as a backup for Roma, so I thought, why not bring him in? He's a good signing. And when I said the Sporting players had started, I really did mean it. Ousmane Diomande has come in for £42 million, another key player in Amorim's system in that centre-back role. He's going to be a very, very important player in our team now, and I'm hopeful that he can help us with taking us to the next level. And finally, we've made a big left-back signing in Theo Hernandez from AC Milan. £53 million is what it did cost, but he is a world-class left-back. He's getting on a bit, he's 29, but he will survive well until the end of this rebuild, which is only another 2 years. So taking a look at the tactic, it is almost exactly like how I did describe it to you guys at the end of last season. But we're going to be running Ignacio, De Ligt and Diomande as the centre-backs, Hernandez, Geertruida on the full-backs, Mainu, Fernandez. Obviously Mainu is replaceable with Mason Mount, but right now he's doing quite well, so I'll give it to him there. Rashford, Sane and Osimhen. I think this team, it resembles Amorim's shape, it resembles his 5-2-3, but it also, you know, it surrounds our best players with options all around, and I think it's going to be very, very good for us. It's shown that so far in the league also. 4 games, 3 wins, 1 draw. We've got 2 of our players top goal scoring charts, 3 of our players on the top 3 average rating, Leroy Sané top of the assists, and Theo Hernandez tied top player of the matches. I mean, he has been brilliant. They have all been brilliant. We've won 3 games and drawn 1, including a 7-0 win at home to West Ham, 1-0 win away from Aston Villa, and a 3-1 win at home to Tottenham. Sorry, not Chelsea. 2-2 draw away at Chelsea, but that's fine because we are still top of that league. I think it's a very, very big start, and it shows how we're going to do this season. I'm sure we'll do very well, and I'm hopeful now. I'm hopeful. We've got good depth in almost every position, as you can see by our bench, and I'm sure we can start to do very, very well. So I'll be simming to the end of this season to show you how we've managed to do. I'm really hoping for something big. I want to start pushing for that Champions League now, as that is the main goal. Okay, so we're here, end of season 4. Player stats are looking quite crazy, I'll say for one, but I'm still not seeing Osimhen anywhere here, so it's fine. We'll start off. Marcus Rashford with 37 goals off that left wing, 51 goal contributions in 60 games. That is quite a big season from Rashford in his 13th season, it says here, at Manchester United. Did he actually make his debut back in 2014? That is kind of mad to me. He made his debut back then. That's 13 years ago in game. So wow. 7.33 average rating from him as well, but that still isn't our highest. Our highest average rating being Leroy Sané. Now he has been incredible also. 19 goals and 28 assists, meaning he ended the season on 47, I believe, goal contributions. Please forgive me if I'm wrong. 47 in 54 games. He's 32 years old and he's still performing incredibly. Like I said, I mean, true talent comes out in players, doesn't it? He is world class, and I'm sure he will continue to be over the last season also. Looking at the rest of it though, we've got a couple bits and bobs here and there, but you can also see Man City have sacked their manager. So that means that Man City have probably not done very well this season. There's a chance we've won the league again, and I'm really hopeful for that. So let's take a look at competitions. What? We've genuinely won it all. Okay, let me count this up. Alright, one. That's one. That's a double. That's a treble. Quadruple. Quintuple. What? I'm lost. I don't know how we've done it. Okay, let's start off with the league. We've won the league. We're 6 points ahead of all of second place. Sorry, we're 6 points off Tottenham, who are second. Wow, I'm shook. I am shook. Looking at the league phase, we ended top with 0 losses, only 1 draw in there away to PSG, which is a 0-0 draw. Made it through to the round of 16s where we beat Man City 6-2. Quarterfinals, we beat Inter Milan 8-5. Semi-finals, we beat Arsenal 6-3. By no means we've had an easy run to the final, but we did play PSG in that final and beat them 2-0. Good Lord Almighty. Alright, we'll go from the quarterfinals here because there's too much to go through. Quarterfinals, we beat Plymouth 5-1. Is Wayne Rooney still in charge? We beat Wayne Rooney. We beat Chelsea 5-1 in the semi-finals, and then played off against Liverpool in the finals, beat them 3-1 in extra time. Carabao Cup quarterfinals, we beat West Brom 4-0. We beat Tottenham 5-3 in the semis, and we beat Liverpool 2-1 in the finals. An even bigger win. That is nuts. We beat Aston Villa in the Community Shield. Good Lord Almighty. Okay. Wow. I don't think I can even name any places to improve right now. After that, I mean, wow. We still have a couple positions that are under a 7 average rating, but I mean, places to improve. We've only got 72 million in the budget after all of that. Doesn't that say something? This team's stingy. Places to improve, I can only really say perhaps a right back, because Geertrude hasn't been brilliant. Maybe it is best just to keep him as depth for the final season. As you can see though, even the players on the bench have performed well. I mean, wow. You can just see in the last 5 games it shows their average ratings. Rasmus Højlund been brilliant this season. I mean, all round, wow, that's nuts. That is nuts. I don't know what to say. You know what? We'll move on though. I'm excited now. That's gotten me all happy. We'll swim to the end of the next transfer window to show you who we've managed to bring in, who we haven't brought, who we've sold, because I've lost my head now. I find this rebuild a success already. So I mean, I'm done now. My job's finished. I mean, I'll be swimming to the end of the next transfer window, the final transfer window, to show you who we've brought in, who we've sold, and if we're changing the tactic. I don't see much being done though, as we have just won everything, genuinely. So I'll see you there. So we made one sale in Nusa Mazraoui to Damak for £20 million. He was only really a backup, which is sad to lose him because he could play in the midfield also. I mean, I didn't want to lose him, but he wasn't really doing too well, so it was about time to let him go. And that made space for Marcos Llorente, I think that's how I say it, to come in on a free transfer. He's 33 years old, fair, but he's very good on stamina, and he is also very good as a right wing back. So I mean, maybe that will be the start for next season, for this coming season, sorry. We'll have to wait and see. But so far, he's only come off on the bench 7 appearances off the bench and a 7.2 average rating all round, which is actually quite good, to be honest. He can also play in midfield as Mazraoui can, so I think he's a good replacement for the short term. Looking at the tactic, we're running it the exact same way, but I'll take a look at the best 11. We won't be locking anyone into position. This is just straight how we will be running it. Geertruida is still staying at right back, so another season for the fraud. Well done to him. He's managed to finesse the system. Let's take a look at how we've done in the league so far, though, because I'm sure we've done well. Not as well as I would have hoped. New Man City manager Conte has taken us over so far. Antonio Conte, I almost forgot his first name for a bit. 1 draw, which was against Arsenal, but we did also beat Liverpool at Anfield 4-1, as well as 2 other wins against newly promoted teams, I believe. So a 4-1 win at Anfield is quite mad. Yeah, no, Man City still haven't played any real big competition yet, so I'm sure we should be going on and winning it again. But it really could not matter any less. So I'll be simming to the end of this season to show you what we've managed to win. I'm sure we're going to win something again, but really my job has been done from last season. Okay, so we're here, end of season 5, the final season of this rebuild, and I'm seeing a visible decrease in player stats. I'll be honest, a 31 goal season from Osimhen is brilliant. I'll give that to him, because of the fact that, you know, he's finally started to get up there. A bit late for him, but it doesn't matter. Theo Hernandez highest average rating on a 7.17, not the highest, I'll say that. Leroy Sané, again, top of the assist charts, but I think this probably is his last season at the club because of that stamina going down. I mean, not the greatest from him. Not the greatest, but still, it's still good. I mean, 25 assists for someone of that age is still good, so I have to give that to him. I mean, I'm not expecting a lot for this season. We'll check though. We've bottled everything. Okay, all right. Let's start off from the basics here. We've bottled the league by one point. We've bottled it by 1 singular point. Okay, and I can see we drew to Tottenham there. I mean, even though we beat them as well, we drew to Tottenham the next week, and that bottled it for us. 12 draws. That's one of the highest. We are second highest on the amount of games drawn. Wow, that's horrible. That's a very bad season. Semi-finals of the Champions League again to PSG. They got their revenge on us and went on to win it. That's unfortunate. Super Cup we did win. We beat AC Milan in. We went runners up in the Community Shield. We lost to Tottenham in a final. That's bad. It's not been a great season, I'll be honest there. But all round, I'm still calling this rebuild a giant success. I mean, we've built an amazing team of players around, you know, what we already had at the club. As you can see, we still kept a couple of the players that we did start off with. You know, Onana's still here, even though he's old. De Ligt is still here. Menu, Ugarte, Rashford, all still here. If we look at the bench, Martinez, Bruno Fernandes, Højlund, Shaw, Mason Mount, all players that were here before. Garnacho also. So, and we've kept a lot of the players that were already here, but we have also, you know, built a couple players into the new system and signed a couple players into the new system. I mean, look, under Amorim's system, I think Man United can do very well. I myself don't know if I am looking forward to it, because it will mean that football does get a bit more boring, but it probably will mean that we get more results, and that is the big thing for the club. We want to get as many big results as possible, because we've lost our club. Let's be honest, we have lost our club, and it's about time. It is about time that we do start getting back some of those results and start playing well again, start winning some big trophies again, because I feel like what Erik ten Hag was doing was kind of disguising the negatives of the team after a couple of trophy wins and using that to his advantage, the fact that he did win those trophies. I'm not happy with that. I don't want a manager that's going to make excuses to make himself look better. I need a manager that can take responsibility, and I'm really hoping that Amorim is that person. But as far as this rebuild does go, I think this has been a giant success. We've built some great teams, some great tactics, and we've won some big trophies, and that is exactly what we wanted from a Man United fan perspective. So I mark this a huge success. So that marks the end of what I would say is a very, very successful rebuild. We won almost everything that there is to win, and we also did it all in one season. To be honest, that fourth season for us was absolutely massive, and we won 5 trophies within it. That is exactly the Manchester United that all of the fans have been wanting to see. Manchester City have taken over and dominated Man United for too many years. It's about time that Man United starts putting in a bit of a fight towards them. So if you did enjoy this rebuild, please leave a massive like on it, as it does go so far. Subscribe and hit that notification bell to know when I next post. And also, I'd like to ask you guys to rate my rebuild and leave some feedback for me, because I love the feedback. It helps me go so far. So I mean, rate my rebuilds on a 1 to 10. A 1 if you think maybe it wasn't the greatest rebuild, and a 10 if you think yes, this was a great rebuild and I'm excited for the next one. Also leave your reasoning with that, please, as it does help me change as a content creator and improve myself for all of you. I hope you guys have a great day after watching this, and I'll catch you in my next video.